everyone, this is Brian Stillman. I'm with BeTerrific, BeTerrific.com. We're at NAB 2019 here in New York City at the Javits Convention Center. We're going to roam the floor a little bit. This is all part of our continuing coverage. We started yesterday. If you haven't tuned in, then I honestly don't know what you were doing yesterday because you missed all sorts of cool gear, you missed all sorts of cool conversations. I don't know, maybe you were sleeping or something crazy like that. We were awake. We were bringing you cool coverage. Anyway, we're starting off today. We're going to roam the floor a little bit, check out some of the really cool stuff out here. I think we're going to start with Blackmagic. I'm a big fan of Blackmagic designs. I use their cameras. I'm shooting some documentaries on their cameras. I like DaVinci Resolve, and so why not? Let's start out with them. So they've got a really, really big booth, which is exciting and impressive. So they've got consoles set up that you can check out that are running DaVinci Resolve and all sorts of cool gear for those of us who are maybe a little more well-heeled and aren't just running it on our laptops like I am. But so we'll maybe get a chance to take a look at that today. We're actually going to have Blackmagic in our booth later on, so you're going to want to stick around for that interview. Let's see what else we got going on over here. Let's see. So, all sorts of DaVinci Resolve demos going on. Latest version of DaVinci Resolve, which is a free download, which is pretty cool. And if you buy Blackmagic gear, you can actually get a full copy of the software. It's their editing suite, color correction, legendary color correction, motion graphics, very cool stuff. What else do we have here? The Hyperdeck. This is the Hyperdeck Extreme, which we might be talking about later. It's actually super cool digital media storage solution. Let's see what else we have here. Switchers, and I don't know if they pronounce it ATEM or ATEM Mini, which is a cool little switcher that you can use for multiple cameras. You can use it for you can run video game systems into it, so you can switch between that. All sorts of streaming solutions built in there. What else do we have going on? Let's see if we can find someone from Blackmagic and grill them a little bit on their gear. Let's see, looking around here. And of course, we got cameras set up, which is my favorite. Looks like we got the Pocket 4K, the Pocket 6K. I own both those cameras. I use them when I shoot documentaries. A lot of fun to work on. Let's see. Checking out what else. So here's something cool that Blackmagic's been doing. Let's see if we can get a shot. They've got this whole demo and educational component going on. So you can sign up for classes and they'll teach you to use Resolve, they'll teach you to use the color correction, all the different components of DaVinci. So they'll have like these big TVs over here, get a shot of that, where they can run through demos and sort of give you an overview of the software, which is very cool, something I would love to sign up for. But I'm here bringing coverage to all of you back home. And you know what? That's fun too and fulfilling, even though I really want to get a little bit more of a drill on the color correction stuff. But what are you going to do? Mike Artzis, who runs BeTerrific, he's got me out here working, bringing you all the coolest gear. So we're going to poke around, see what else is out here. I can babble all day. I can roam the floor all day. This is what I love doing.
You want to go have a conversation?
This is Andrew. He's one of our producers. He's dressed a little better than I am. I know I look pretty good in a tie and a shirt. Mike described it as my School of Rock look because generally I'm a t-shirts and cargo shorts kind of guy. And so I'm basically faking it for you at home. All right, Andrew, where do we go next?
We go have a conversation with Sony.
Sony. Oh, that's awesome. So I also shoot, at BeTerrific, we shoot on FS5s, which is Sony cameras. I've got an FS7 that I use for a lot of my doc work. Love Sony cameras. So we're going to check out and see what they have. They just released the FS9, mostly to torture me, but also because I know it's got a lot of cool features. So maybe they'll have one of those today, and we can talk a little bit about that. And I can figure out why I want to trade in my FS7 for an FS9. Let's see what they got. All right, so here we are at Sony's booth. Oh, man. This is like, basically, if I were to die and sort of, if there is a heaven, it's probably populated with Sony cameras. All right, so what do we got? Oh, hey, how's it going? I'm Brian Stillman. I'm with BeTerrific. I'm a longtime Sony user, so we decided we were going to check out and see what kind of gear you have at the booth today. So I shoot on an FS7. I use it for a lot of doc work, Netflix work. You just released the FS9. My first question is, did you do that to torture me?
Yes, that's specifically the reason. Yeah, so it's actually FX9.
Oh, the FX9.
Yeah, difference being the FS cameras use a Super 35 size sensor. The FX9 uses a full frame sensor.
What are the other differences between the FS and the FX?
I mean, that's the major difference is that the FX9 is a full frame sensor capable of 6K, whereas the other ones are APS-C for 4K.
Okay. And do you have one of those here today?
Yeah. The three new cameras that we're showing here are the A7R4, the A9, so from the Alpha side, and then the FX9, which is right over there.
Can we get a look at it? Cool. So, 6K, full size sensor.
Yes, full frame sensor. Yeah. Yep.
And this just came out.
Yeah, it hasn't even shipped. It's not going to be shipping till January, but we just announced it.
What kind of retail do you have on that?
That's a good question. I actually don't know the final retail price yet.
It's probably not free though, so don't get too excited.
I can tell you with 100% assurance that is not free.
So what are some of the other features that this has besides the full frame sensor, besides the 6K? Any other difference? Is it a Sony mount?
So everything mount-wise, all that's the same accessory-wise. It's basically built up. That's why they even look very, very similar with the difference of color. But yeah, Sony E-mount, but obviously can be adapted to many other mounts, which is one of the best things about the system is that it can run Canon lenses, even PL mount lenses with adapters. There's all like infinite levels of expandability. But it has built-in neutral density filters, all that, like everything that people loved about the previous ones, this just built on with the bigger sensor.
Very cool, very cool. Definitely something I would love to upgrade to. I love my FS7, use it all the time, but full frame, certainly something fun to play with. This has the variable ND filters like the Mark II on the...
Built in, yes.
Very cool. So mine's the first generation, the FS7, doesn't have the variable filters, or variable ND, which the FS5 has. It's a nice little feature, lets you sort of ride the light without having to mess around with your aperture, so you're not losing the depth of field. So that's always a lot of fun. And then tell me about the A-series.
So the Alpha cameras obviously have been making a big splash in this industry by offering a really less expensive, smaller, lighter, and in some ways they can do things that's traditional cinema camera can't, with the exception of the FX9. These give you full frame sensors in a really small, light package. So the two newest Alpha cameras would be the A7R4, which is a super high resolution still camera that also doubles as an incredible video camera, capable of 4K, up to 30p. At 1080 it can do up to 120 frames per second, but it's a 61 megapixel still camera, so it makes for incredible studio use. Like, it's really great for both. And it now offers one of our number one most popular features is like the eye tracking capability on still. That's now the first camera that we offer that does the eye tracking in video as well.
It's still really good in low light. That's one of the things I really liked about the A7S. Super good in low light.
Yeah, the A7S was kind of singularly unique. It was built to have a 12 megapixel camera sensor, so it was like exceptionally good in low light. Whereas anything higher would, but now the technology's gotten so much better since the S that we've kind of fixed some of the noise, that would come with larger megapixel sensors. That's why, like, the A7 Mark III is one of the best hybrid cameras we make because it's built off the 24 megapixel chassis, but it has very similar noise characteristics to the S2, but now with the better autofocus and everything that's come with the newer generation, the bigger battery. And then now we have the A9 II, which is primarily designed as a still camera, 20 frames per second, like unbelievable focus tracking. It does still shoot 4K video, which is phenomenal, but it doesn't do picture profiles. So that's really its one limitation as far as it being a full hybrid camera, whereas the R4, the A7 III, A7S II can do stills and video like equally well.
They can shoot an S-Log and S-Log 3. This one can't?
Correct. The A9, because of the stacked sensor technology, that's the one thing it can't do.
Now, I'm going to admit, one of the things that I've done on a lot of shoots, we'll go out with like an FS7 or a F5.5, and our B cam will actually be one of the A series. But one of the problems we have is at half an hour, it only gets about 30 minutes of shooting, then we have to stop it. Is that still something we're going to run into with these cameras?
So it depends on the camera, actually. So that issue's been this taxation thing. There's always been kind of a misconception about that. But yeah, like cameras had to stop at 29.9 minutes. So we are actually, so for the A6600 is the first camera that we've actually taken care of that on. So that camera can record long. So there are going to be some cameras coming out. And honestly, I haven't read the specs for that yet on these, because that's not a spec that you see on a sheet, like has to stop at 30 minutes. So I will double check on that, but there is a chance that the R4 doesn't. I'm not sure yet, though.
Yeah, I do a lot of documentary work. Our interviews tend to run a lot longer than half an hour. So that's one of the things that's sort of been a sticking point. But otherwise, love the footage, love the portability of it.
And with any camera, if you connect it to something like an Atomos, then you don't have that limitation. So that's an easy fix in that situation, documentary, to hook it up to an external recorder, and then you could record until...
These have HDMI out?
Yes. They have HDMI out for the video. They now have dual USB ports. So they have micro USB and USB-C. So you can charge and tether and do a couple things and connect remotes all at the same time.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, man. It's good talking to you.
You too. Thanks.
Loving the cameras. All right, let's go out there and see what else we got. FX9. So I was saying FS9. It's the FX9. I want to make sure I clarify that. Still a camera I can't afford. Still a camera I really want to own. So what else we got, Andrew?
Oh, we've got an interview lined up with Samson Audio.
Andrew doesn't necessarily plan on being in front of the camera, but because I don't know how to fill this much airtime, he gets to be out here with me.
It's just happening. I put on my good cufflinks today, so...
That's important. That's important, man.
I know they're paying off.
He's got these headphones on. He's kind of like the Princess Leia of BeTerrific with the little buns on the side of his head, but a much nattier beard. Because Carrie Fisher with a beard would be a little weird.
I feel like I'm much prettier than Carrie Ann Fisher with a beard.
I don't know, man. I had a big crush on Carrie Fisher and Star Wars and Empire.
That's fair.
All right, so where are we going?
Samson Audio.
Cool. So you can look around and you just see there's all sorts of different gear at NAB. It's everything from the traditional stuff that you'd expect to see in a production workflow, lights, cameras, audio, things like that, but also a lot of post-production, a lot of broadcast stuff that operate at a point maybe beyond what some of you at home are dealing with, but still really interesting to see where the technology is, where it's going, and what kind of stuff is sort of shaping the industry as we move forward. So we're here at Samson. Hey, I'm Brian Stillman with BeTerrific.
Ryan, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Ryan.
Yes, sir.
So what does Samson have for us today?
So today we're focusing mostly on podcasting microphones and wireless for broadcast with cell phones. So to start with the cell phone wireless here, we actually have our Go Mic Mobile, and this is a 2-channel transmitter receiver for smartphones. So a lot of people have a 4K camera in their pocket. It's great for a lot of videos and things like that, and it sounds great when it's right here, but when I'm trying to film someone over there, not so much. So this lets you use 2 transmitters, either 2 handhelds, 2 lavs, or one of each, and go directly into your phone. There's no syncing, no SD cards, just over the air.
That's really cool. How is it interfacing with the phone itself?
So we've got 4 different cables. It'll come with a Lightning, a USB-C, a USB micro, and a TRRS.
Oh, that's really cool. So this is the receiver. Can you switch through different channels on it, different bands? How does that work?
So it's really got its 2 channels that you would sync up, kind of like you'd sync a Bluetooth. And then the cool feature that we have here is a mix versus 2-channel knob. So for a live broadcast, something like a live stream like this, we can actually go mix and it'll get both of us down the middle, or we could go 2-channel so that when we're having an interview and I'm speaking too quietly, it's easy for someone to bump me up in post.
Now, can you use any Samson transmitter with this, or is it a special transmitter that is designed to work with this unit?
We've got some designed to work with it, but we have a handheld and we have a belt pack. So if you want to use your own mic on the belt pack, you're more than welcome to.
Is it sold as a kit, or?
We sell it as a kit. We comes with the transmitter, the receiver, all the cables, and all the mounting gear needed for $199 typically, and for about $80 you can find your second transmitter.
Oh, it's designed really for sort of the budget level people are out there who are likely using their phones, not necessarily coming out with a full kit and have little deeper pockets. So it's a nice economical way to get your stuff out there with solid audio. Because audio is definitely, you'll see, and people actually maybe take an extra step and they'll get a window there so you get some good light, and then it sounds like they're 50 feet away and it's nothing but an echoey mess.
It's funny too, coming from the audio world, is you ask someone in the audio what's the best mic, and they start saying this one or that one or this for this, whereas the camera guys kind of have it down right. They're like, oh, the best camera is the one you have. So this is a camera everyone has. This is an audio solution to make that camera have the audio that matches.
That's awesome. What else do you have?
So the other new product is going to be our satellite here.
Okay.
Satellite.
All right.
So this
Surrounded my mics, and I'm still like having to like move stuff around.
all good. So this is actually a USB and iOS certified microphone. So instead of using adapters to get to something like an iPad here, we can use one cable. We've got 3 different polar patterns. So we go cardioid, record in front, omni, record all around, and figure of 8, front and back. We've got a touch capacitive mute. So if you're live streaming, you got to cough, take a sip of water. They're not going to hear a click while you're streaming, everything like that. Got a built-in headphone monitoring with a headphone output in the back. Volume, legs fold up, can still be put on a boom stand or anything like that. But this is a super cool mic, 24-bit 96K. Comes out in 2 weeks and streets for $99.
It's nice. One of the things that I think most of us tend to think about gear as, it doesn't matter what it looks like, it as long as it works well. But when you are in a podcasting situation, when your mic is part of your set, you still want something that, besides having all the specs that it needs to have, besides sounding great, obviously that's the priority, you still want it to look pretty cool. And this is a pretty cool looking little mic, but it's also low profile, so it's not this giant thing in front of you when you're trying to do your broadcasting and stuff like that. So it's a nice sort of mix of form and function.
Yeah, the reason for the height is actually so that if you're sitting at a table, this would be a proper volume. So again, for the guy who's grab and go, again, this can be your studio. It has the right height that you don't need to carry your stand as well.
Very cool, very cool. Oh, it's light too, really light. Easy to transport. That's another part. A lot of what we're doing, like you say, we have these studios in our pockets now. We can be broadcasting from anywhere. You can set up a little table, set it down, but it's something you can pack into your gear bag. It's not going to take up a lot of weight, not going to take up a lot of room. Same with the unit that goes for the iPhone, or any phone, I guess. Very cool, man. And are these out now? When do they come out?
So this microphone will be out in about 2 weeks. The wireless unit is out already.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of NAB.
Have a great show.
All right. Samson, very cool products out there. I don't know how many of you are podcasters or maybe have your own little shows, things that you're doing, but that's the type of thing you can take to a convention, which is really cool. Audio is the hardest part to get right. Honestly, any of these cameras are going to give you a decent shot. Really where the limitations of an iPhone camera or a phone camera come in is if you're trying to get artistic, if you're trying to do something more than just a wide shot. But if you want to get things with funky depths of field, sure, okay, you want a good camera. But the truth is, if you just have good content, it doesn't matter what you're shooting on. But you need to be able to hear it. So you need good audio. And that's where a lot of things fall short. If you're trying to use your built-in mic, you're screwed. It's not going to happen. So things like that, very cool, very cool. And you can take it and do your convention coverage. You can do your event coverage. You can set up anywhere. All right, what else we got? Where'd Andrew go? We lost Andrew. Which means we're rogue. We can do whatever we want. All right, so we're gonna go this way. I don't know why, but we're gonna see what's there. It's an adventure. All right, so we have the esports content production studio. We're actually gonna have, where's our camera? We're actually gonna have them in our studio later. We're gonna be talking to some of those guys about what they're doing. This is actually a really cool booth. Esports content production studio. Pretty self-evident, I suppose. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but we're going to find out later when we talk to them. So stick around for our coverage, and you'll get a chance to hear what this is all about. All right, we've lost Andrew, and we're like babes in the woods. We don't know where we're going. I want to try and find some more cameras, because that's something that I enjoy talking about, and I think that's something people like seeing. All right, looking around. What do we got? Live streaming. So, okay, Magewell, live streaming made easier. Let's take a look and see what this is, because that sounds pretty cool. Oh, we found Andrew again.
You want to go interview Hey, Lund Halsey, they've built furniture for computers.
Yes, but since I'm here, I want to check this out. Hi, I'm Brian Stillman. I'm with BeTerrific. We have a booth way over there in N805, but we're also roaming the floor to check out some of the cool gear at NAB this year. And we were passing by, and I saw Magewell software-based live IP workflows, hardware-based live IP conversion, streaming made easier. So tell me, what do you guys do?
Sure. Well, Magewell is usually famous for the quality and the reliability and the price performance value of our video capture devices. And in the past couple of years, we extended the benefits to the streaming and conversion field. I mean, we have the standalone converters for the NDI, and we also have the streaming encoders. It's H.264 dedicated encoder to do the recording and the streaming at the same time.
Oh, that's very cool. So with these units, these are the encoders for streaming, for capture, the whole thing.
Yeah, you can take the feed from camera or from any other video sources and record it, and meanwhile stream it to platforms like Facebook, Twitch, or any other RTMP defined servers. So that is the products. It's very small and it's very easy to use. You can use the on-device buttons to do the recording and the streaming, and you can also use a cell phone because we provide an app for you to configure the settings, and we also provide a web GUI. So a couple of ways to configure this unit.
Cool. Is this available now?
Yeah, it is shipping already, and we for this show we have already shipped the SDI version. Okay. So we have two flavors.
And what does this retail for?
Well, the retail price for this unit is $359, and it is slightly higher for the SDI version, so it's about $399. And we have the distributor located in Pennsylvania, so it is very easier for the local customer to buy them and maybe have an eval to test with.
Cool, very cool, very cool. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of NAB.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to keep looking around. Andrew has found something for us. What have you found for us, Andrew?
So we have an interview lined up with a company, Lund Halsey. They build their own custom furniture for computer stands, and they have these really two cool lines of computer chairs that look very comfortable.
Oh, computer chairs that look very comfortable. All right, you had me at comfortable. Because NAB's, these things are tiring. I know everyone at home thinks we're living the good life just checking out gear, but okay, I can't lie, that's actually really cool. But it gets a little tiring, even though it's only like, it's not even 11 in the morning, and I'm already like, where can I sit down? But we're going to check this out. Oh, wow. So here's the thing. If you're in this industry, you're going to have two weird fetishes that your friends will not understand. They'll get the camera thing, they'll get the audio thing, they'll maybe get the light thing. They will not understand why you suddenly have a weird bag fetish and furniture fetish. But I'm telling you, if you're a cameraman, if you're a shooter, bags are awesome. You will go through like 30 different bags trying to find the perfect bag. And cool furnitures and workstations are also super cool. So let's go check some of these out. Who am I talking? Oh, okay. And hi, I'm Brian. I'm with BeTerrific. How's it going? We're walking the floor, checking out cool stuff, and we hear you have cool furniture for control rooms and computers, and comfy chairs.
We do. Have a seat.
Oh, all right. We're going to test out this chair. Ready? Oh, that is comfortable.
Good. Everyone's comfortable.
Does it come with a shoulder rub?
A little bit.
All right. So tell me a little bit about, what am I looking at here?
So first of all, we're a company from England called Lund Halsey. We've recently signed with Legrand as our partners, as our distributors here in the States. And we manufacture everything in the UK and we ship worldwide. So we've been doing this since 1983, but only recently in the last 18 months started working in the States.
Okay, so this is furniture designed for computers. I mean, I see on the sort of demo videos here, you have everything from like airports to computer stations, control booths, things like that. So tell me a little bit about this one.
So this is our control command range, which is height adjustable. So you can sit and stand, so you can raise it up and down. There's also an app for this as well. The app allows you to actually sit for 45 minutes, then it will automatically go up for 5 minutes to make you stand up and keep you moving, keep you interested, keep your blood flowing. We also have, can you get a bit closer to this by any chance? This is our nice little item here called a control touch. So if you want to charge your phone, your laptop, your iPad, you flick of the switch and we're all good.
Why not just leave it out?
because it's not as sexy.
Hear that, folks? Not sexy. All right, I agree. That's pretty sexy. So all you do is touch that?
Yeah, correct.
I've got to try this. Oh, okay, that is pretty cool. All right, and not something you want to do if things are plugged in, though.
No, that's absolutely fine. We've tested that. I've even used my finger in there, and my finger's still on my hand, so we're okay.
Okay. What are these?
These are cable grommets. Okay. If I just bring you round here.
All right, we're gonna check this out here.
So it's a modular system built up of steel frame bays. Within here, you can store your KVM solutions, your PCs. Again, cable management that goes all the way through.
This is really cool. How much does something like this cost?
That depends on who you're speaking to.
I guess I'm talking to you.
I'd say about $15,000, between 15 and 20, depending on your accessories. So yeah.
Okay, so something, if you're building a control room, if you're building a studio, something that you might want to consider. Certainly has a lot of uses in it. I will say maybe the rise, the standing and sitting version of the desk, depending on what kind of setup you have for your control booth, might get a little awkward if you have a bank of TVs and monitors and things like along the whole wall. Yeah. But on the other hand, if you're looking at a system where maybe you're editing or whatever, that could certainly be very cool.
That's for this range. So this range over here is more for the production side. So CNN have this, MTV, BBC, ITV, Al Jazeera, you name it. Pretty much every major broadcaster in the world is using the E-Type 2 series. So this is a modular system built up of 19-inch bays. Everything is 19-inch rack mounted. So you can swap and change your modules as your studio develops. You've got integrated cable management that goes all the way through. And again, if I can just put you on the back.
All right.
So we find obviously that with broadcast there is a lot of cabling, and integrators that we work with like to be able to just have their reels already pre-wired and then drop them straight in. Power strips can be rack mounted here in the cable tray. This is nice soft close, because obviously you don't want to make too much noise in the studio. And we're using a compact laminate material here. So that's a solid laminate. That's how it comes off the machine. Very hardware, and they use it in laboratories. It's scratch resistant, heat resistant, chemical proof. I don't know why you'll have chemicals in your studio, but just in case, you never know. Underneath that, you then also have more rack mounting inside the console. Nice. So front and rear racking, 3U at the back, 4U at the front. And again, you can take that door off, nice and hidden away, everything's clean and tidy.
Very, very cool. And how much does something like this in this configuration, what would we be looking at?
Roughly speaking, around $12,000-ish, roughly speaking.
Very cool. Are the armatures part of the system, or are these?
So they're all accessories. So effectively, with us, you get a free of charge design. So generally, customers will send us their room dimensions, their equipment list, and we will prepare a set of technical drawings, and then also a nice 3D render as well. So you actually really get to see what you're going to do. And that's all free of charge. That's all part of our service. You'll get that with a price list. You'll get a menu with all these accessories like monitor arms, speaker stands, the power modules. And basically you can pick and choose what you want, and then we can tailor it to your needs.
Very cool, very cool. And it's all made in England, and you ship it over here? Or?
All manufactured in the UK, which is one of our USPs, effectively, because everybody likes the British quality that we have. And like I said, we've been doing this since 1983. This is what we do. Broadcast is our main market. We also work in security, aviation, and oil and gas. So basically, any application or any market sector where you have technology and furniture, we're there to help.
Awesome, man. Very cool. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Good talking to you.
Thank you.
These are great. And that chair, definitely comfy.
I'll put one down for you then.
All right.
Excellent.
Have a good one.
Cheers. Enjoy
the rest of NAB. All right. And we've lost Andrew again, which means, Andrew's this way. We got Victor, who's normally a cameraman, but today he's a light stand. Say hi, Victor.
Hi, Mama.
Okay, that's Victor.
Interview lined up with this lighting company, Fiilex. The guy. He's
cool.
Give you the rundown.
Awesome. All right.
Ready, Jim?
Jim. For once, Victor, you're out of a job. We've got like all the lighting we could possibly need.
How's it going?
Hey, I'm Brian.
Jim.
BeTerrific. Nice to meet you. So tell me a little bit about some of your products.
Yeah, so here, so what we got here is our newest offering is the Quad Matrix, and it's a modular system of our Matrix. So you got, let me turn this off.
I like that we're shooting right into the light. This is every cameraman's worst nightmare.
So you could put this together in about 10 minutes. It's a fully modular system. You could pull this out, throw it on a yoke, and use it as a single unit. It's also pretty versatile, as you could use these custom Fresnel lenses, focus it in about a 31-degree beam angle, but then you could also pop them out and use it as a larger, broader soft source. It's compatible with a Ragplace 5-foot Octa. We're seeing it used a lot as like a big space light or a big downlight.
And is it what are they? What are the light? What's the light source?
So the light source is it's our take on a panel, as opposed to a traditional panel where you have your strips of LEDs. We have 4 sources in here, 4 90-watt sources, creating that broad 99-degree beam angle. But it's more versatile than a traditional panel. We could focus it in, cut it, but still use it also as a big soft source.
How much does a unit like this cost?
So the single fixtures go for about $3,000 a head. The whole frame goes for $12,000.
And that comes with all 4.
With the 4 fixtures as well. Yeah.
It's not just a frame for 12 grand. All right. That's really cool. How much does this thing weigh?
Weighs about 75 pounds. When you're looking at comparable large panels, it's quite smaller and lighter, so much easier to rig, handle around, especially in places like New York where spaces are tight. You have to pull it up the stairs or something like that. It's a lot more manageable.
Very cool. What else do you have?
So we also got, let's see, actually, if we go around over here, I can show you our 8-inch Fresnel. This is our Q8 Travel. This is actually a fixture that we're really proud of. The LED Fresnels start over the bad reputation of not being great for cutting and a number of things, but we've really worked hard to perfect that. So if you look at the beam angle, there's like no hot spot in the center. The fall off is very smooth and consistent, and it spots over there down to 12 degrees, which you're not going to see in any other LED Fresnel on the market right now. And when it spots out, you could also then cut it, and it gives you a soft cut, but that cut is, again, consistent, and you don't get any jagged edges or weird fringing. This would be like your 1K tungsten equivalent. It pulls about 340 watts from the wall, and just like everything else across the line, it's fully tunable, 2800 all the way to 65.
It's a great range.
With a quarter shift magenta green as well. So for your skin tones, shooting in your fluorescence, whatever you got to do.
What's a unit like this cost?
The head goes for $3,000 as well.
That's great. This is really cool. I mean, I've definitely seen some issues with the Fresnels, the LED Fresnels, but this is really looks fantastic. How long is this out now? I mean,
yep. Everything here is shipping now, available right now.
Cool, great. Thanks so much for giving us a little bit of a little tour. Enjoy the rest of NAB.
Take care, guys.
All right, Andrew, where we go next?
At 11:20.
Oh, so actually, we're going back to the studio because we've got some interviews coming up. So we'll just sort of make our way back, and we'll kind of just look around at stuff as we go. But maybe we won't stop to do interviews. You can all listen to me kind of ramble my color commentary. All right. So we're gonna keep going this way, and let's see, what do we got here? We've got. I don't know what a lot of this is. All right, we're gonna poke around here. I have no idea what this is, but it's kind of cool looking. Oh, okay. So these are light trusses for staging. For those of you who have giant stages and arenas and studios back home, I can't exactly hang this in my apartment, but it's certainly cool. What else we got? We've got broadcast stuff here. We've got what looks like 360 cameras. Of course, anyone who follows our CES coverage has seen some of this. And Actus compliance monitoring. If you were tuning in yesterday, we had them in the booth. We talked about compliance monitoring, something that perhaps podcasters are not necessarily dealing with, but is very important for broadcast television. And what else do we have? More lighting. I mean, you can see there's just stuff all over the place. I see big Panasonic booths. So we're going to head that way. That's going to take us back to booth N805, which is where BeTerrific is housed, with the Agility quadricep panels, which you can see practically from space. I mean, we hung these things out 15 feet off the ground, and they just light up everywhere. Moving towards Panasonic. So you can see, I mean, more studio desks. Pardon me. And console desks, and wow, those are super cool. Keeps walking. Whoops, sorry. Nearly running into people. We got Fujifilm. Ooh, got Fuji cameras. Ooh, neat. All right. And here we are in Panasonic's booth. Panasonic showing off a wide range of cameras and workflow solutions, and what else they got here? PTZ cameras. PTZ cameras are all over the place at NAB this year. And then we have, we've got a Vericam, which I would love to take home and play with, but I cannot because then I would be arrested. So, but that's super cool. The EVA one, which is fun little camera to shoot on. All right, so we have interviews, so we got to actually make our way back to our booth. I'm getting the signal from Andrew, who's basically telling me that if I don't start walking, he's going to start hurling things at me. So, okay. It's very hard to stay focused at NAB because there's really a lot of stuff to see. There's really a lot of stuff to demo. And for someone like me, it's kind of like a major distraction. But I'm here to do a job, whatever that job may be. So I didn't put on this tie for nothing. All right, we're going to head this way so Brian doesn't get caught up in the DaVinci, the Blackmagic orbit, which will just suck me right in, and then I won't do any more work. Keep going. Giant satellite dishes. Teradek, we had them in the booth yesterday. Wireless 4K transmission. More equipment that I can't afford but would love to have. But back to the booth because Andrew is looking surly. Hey, guys. All right. And there we are, BeTerrific. With the Agility quadricep panels hanging up there, BeTerrific tech. They're wavy. Like, that's super cool. I watched them installing those things 2 days ago, and it's pretty amazing. The amount of flex, the ease of use to get them up there. They're bright. You can see them from space. I mean, not literally, but you can certainly see them from, like, the Panasonic booth, which was pretty far away. These things really show up. All right. At some point, we're going to cut. And that's it. I'm out, right?